Hello. Apologies for the delay, Faceless fans. Career, family and health have meant I had to temporarily take a break. But it's good to be back. Tonight's recipe is a delicious one to come back to, and a good alternative to any Sunday dinner. A tender lamb, goat's cheese and mint pie, served with vegetables and a simple, fluffy rosemary mashed potato. Enjoy the recipe and ensure you carefully watch to the end of the video to ensure all ingredients and instructions are noted. As the lamb can take a while to make tender, we're going to start with that first. This was done on the hob, however, with the recent cost of living crisis in the UK, this is probably better to do in the slow cooker. Similar method, brown the meat, add ingredients, then leave on slow cook for 12 hours rather than pay for the oven. As it is, take 600 grams of a diced leg of lamb, or any cut of lamb for that matter. Add a teaspoon of white pepper, approximately 2 tablespoons of plain white flour, a pinch of salt, which is missing from the video, and give it a good mix through in the bowl, leaving to rest whilst prepping the rest of the ingredients. Take 1 medium brown onion, slice, 1 to 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary, and approximately, although this can be done to taste, 2 tablespoons of mint sauce. Any brand is fine. Gently soften the onions before adding your diced lamb and browning it all over. Add your mint sauce, stir through, and add enough beef stock to coat. I did make around 800ml and use this to top up at later stages to ensure the lamb was super tender without cooking dry. Bring to a boil before turning down the heat to a gentle simmer, cover and slow cook for anywhere between 2 or 3 hours. After the first hour, give the mixture a stir before adding the rosemary, tasting and seasoning if required. Remember though, we are adding goat's cheese, so avoid adding too much salt. After the 2 to 3 hours is up, your mixture should be relatively thick and meat should break apart with the gentlest of presses with a fork. Whilst the lamb is slow cooking, we will blind bake the base of the pie. Saving time, I used a 500g block of Shortcrust pastry from the local supermarket, letting it rest for 30 minutes at room temperature before rolling it to around half a centimetre thickness, ensuring it was big enough to fit the baking dish, allowing an overhang, whilst ensuring there was enough left for the pastry lid. We need to allow an overhang as the pastry can shrink whilst baking. I'm still learning how to avoid this happening. It seems to be the luck of the day, but one tip is to not overwork the dough. Lightly grease a baking dish before placing the rolled dough, pressing down to line the dish, and then placing your baking beads, or rice if you do not have any, within the pastry base. Now, mine had to be washed as I had run out of baking paper. Usually, you want to line your pastry with baking paper before covering this paper with your beads. Bake in a preheated oven at 200 degrees centigrade for around 20 to 25 minutes or until the base is turning nice and golden around the crust. Take your pre-cooked pie base and place half a 125g block of soft goat cheese around the bottom. Top with your minted lamb and rosemary mixture before adding the remainder of the goat's cheese. Place the pastry lid on top before brushing with egg wash and cutting 2 slits to allow steam to escape during the cooking. Bake in the oven at 200 degrees C again for around 20 minutes until the pastry is nice and golden and crisp. Remove from the oven and use a knife to go along the edge of the baking dish to trim the overhang. For the fluffy mash and veg, start by peeling and cubing potatoes of choice. I used a standard mouse piper, before thoroughly washing to remove any starch and finally crushing some rosemary with a pestle and mortar. Boil the potatoes in salted water until the knife goes through the pieces with ease. Drain and steam dry for around 10 minutes. Now again, silly Faceless here, ran out of cream and also missed the ricer part. For a smoother mash, push the potatoes through a ricer or sieve before adding around 50g of butter and a generous splash of warm cream. When making mash, try to remember warm cream, cold butter. Mash until you have a smooth consistency, yet still fluffy, which is the reason for we're only going to use a splash of warm cream in this instance. Add and mix thoroughly through your crushed rosemary. Serve a generous slice with your fluffy rosemary mash and vegetables of choice. In this case, I used oven roast carrots with black onion seeds, topped with a simple lamb stock gravy. And there is our finished dish. A truly tender lamb, mint, goat's cheese pie with fluffy rosemary mashed potato. Thank you very much for watching. If on Facebook, please feel free to comment, share, save or follow the page. Remember, my videos do appear first on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe over there. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment, hit the subscribe button and join me and the rest of the Faceless community on the journey to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. Make sure to also hit the notification button to see updates of more weekly videos. Stay healthy and see you next episode.